It is week 7, and by this point in time, you don't want to be waiting till Sunday morning to get all of your bets in. You don't want to be trying to pull a rabbit out of your head on Sunday morning. Don't procrastinate. Get ahead of it. Place your bets on Tuesday when the lines are less efficient, Wednesday when the lines are a little bit less efficient. And that's why we're here to give you some look-aheads for week 7, brought to you, of course, by mybookie.ag. All right, Eric, let's start with the Thursday night game where the Cardinals welcome in the Denver Broncos. The Cardinals are the home team. They have the better quarterback, but they're the underdog.
Yeah, so the idea that Josh Rosen's the better quarterback here is a little counterintuitive, but in terms of PFF grades, it's absolutely the case. Case Keenum has struggled so far this year, and especially on the road where the Broncos are not as good without that altitude.
Case Keenum, when clean, has an 87 passer rating. That's below the league average regardless of the situation, so that's not good. The second thing is the Broncos are on the road, which I think actually helps the Cardinals' offensive line, which is pretty not great, and the Broncos' offensive line, which is also not awesome, gets a little bit of a knockdown here. So in terms of which quarterback will be more under fire, normally we'd think it'd be Josh Rosen, but here I think it'll be a little equal, and when in doubt, take the quarterback that is better, and that is Rosen.
Yeah, Rosen, 7.27% of his passes have been big-time throws. A lot of them have been dropped. A lot of them have not been capitalized on, but what we'll see generally over time is those things equilibrate, and so here I think the Arizona Cardinals passing game, their offense in general, is a little bit undervalued here, and so go ahead and take them here.
Case Keenum's going to give at least one touchdown to the other team here, so that's a nice thing to note. All right, let's go to Jacksonville, where the Jaguars, off of a couple of losses, welcome in the Houston Texans and Deshaun Watson. Now a game free of overtime. They're getting 5. Deshaun Watson, is he better than Blake Bortles?
I think no matter how you look at it, and this is a watershed moment for us, the first time we're going to back Houston. We even took Buffalo against them last week. But yeah, Deshaun Watson, his PFF grade is better than Bortles, but if you just look at the fundamentals, he's one of those players that's generating a positively graded throw on like a third of his dropbacks. So he's just playing really well, and unlike a season ago, his statistics are not necessarily reflected in his grade, whereas last year his statistics were great and his grade wasn't quite as good. So I think you're getting the better quarterback here, getting points, and I don't think Jacksonville's enough of a home field advantage to really sort of use that as a negation here against the Texans.
We have an opportunity to see DeAndre Hopkins, maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL, against Jalen Ramsey, the best cornerback in the NFL, or at least one of the 2 or 3. Byron Jones certainly should be up there. This will be a fun game to watch, but I think when you look, kind of top to bottom, these teams shouldn't be separated by that much, and the quarterback advantage has to go to Deshaun Watson, who I think you're getting a little bit of a reverse from last season, where people were really excited about him because his box score stats were incredible. This year, those have taken a step back, but he's playing better. So you're getting an opportunity to capitalize on that here.
Yeah, it's something we've seen with Houston the last couple of weeks. Kiki Kuti in the slot has been, extremely productive. And, Jacksonville's defense is pretty good, although last week they were shredded up by Cole Beasley and the Dallas Cowboys because they let Aaron Colvin go this offseason to Houston. Their slot corner position has been a combination of injuries and poor play. So I see that as if they can take care of DeAndre Hopkins, I still don't think they're out of the water here defensively.
Reminder, defense regresses. It's not very stable, and the offense dictates what the defense has to do. Crazy thought. Before we get into our last look-ahead line of the week, I want to tell you a little bit more about mybookie.ag because all of this is worthless unless you go to mybookie.ag and get your bets in as soon as possible. Mybookie.ag offers all the different bet types that you could possibly want. They make it easy to cash out, and they have the best customer service around. To boot, they've got in-game live betting, which both of us use. That's why we love it. Want you to make sure you get involved as well. It's pretty simple. PFF plus mybookie.ag. You play, you win, you get paid. All right, last game. A team that we talk about quite a bit, the Atlanta Falcons. They are at home. They welcome in the much maligned, drama-filled New York Giants. I don't think you can take a boat there, but a lot of the baggage I'm sure will be traveling with them. The spread here is kind of big. So instead of that, let's go to the total.
Yeah, so the total here at 54.5, pretty high by NFL standards, but not necessarily for this year with scoring up almost 4 points per game. So we like the over here because Atlanta is going to be able to put up points. They have, you know, and they're in their dome. They put up points in the dome basically every single week. And so I think that they'll take care of their end of the bargain, score more than 30 points here. But the Giants against the Atlanta defense is one where I think you're going to undervalue the Giants offense. They have Saquon Barkley, who's produced 37 missed tackles, basically an equal number in the run game as the pass game. And then, of course, Odell Beckham Jr., I think, is a mismatch against whomever the Falcons want to cover him with on the outside.
The Falcons not exactly the greatest pass rush on planet Earth, and if we've seen anything with Eli Manning, that will help a little bit. And then you look at the Falcons' offense here. Matt Ryan playing as well, I think, as he has. Obviously, they're not getting the results in terms of wins and losses, but he's playing about as well as he did in his MVP season. 125 passer rating when clean. I do not expect him to be under a ton of duress here, and they have to win basically every single game the rest of the year. So you know they will come out firing here. A lot of weapons, and the Giants, I believe, just cut another defensive back. So 54.5, I'm not worried about that at all. This will be a ton of points.
Yeah, your point about pressure is huge, right? So Eli Manning has not been great, right? But he's going to be playing indoors where I think his arm strength is going to be mitigated a little bit, right? And he's got a 105 passer rating when clean so far this season. And as you said, the Falcons, Takris McKinley's been okay on the pass rush, but by and large, Grady Jarrett's probably going to be out. So he'll have an opportunity here to, I think, throw not only to Barkley, but to the wide receivers. And then, you know, as you said with Matt Ryan, he's just, you know, 3% of his throws are big-time throws so far, and where he's really killing teams is on those like play-for-play, positively graded throws. He's just, you know, he's been as good as he's ever been this year.
Falcons' red zone efficiency has taken a huge jump. Everyone should get off Sark's back. Points.
Does Julio score this week?
Probably not.
It doesn't matter, though.
I saw the replay of that incredible catch that he made during warm-ups, and I noticed it was in the end zone, which might have been the last time that he made a catch in the end zone. I'm not sure. Football, meant to be played outside, but when it's indoors, a lot of points. Check in with us later in the week for all of our picks, and if you want to see everything, make sure you get a PFF Elite subscription where you can head to PFF Greenline and see every single data point that you could possibly want.